Live.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Admissions Live. We have a special broadcast from NACAC headquarters. If you are joining us for the first time, welcome. This is Admissions Live, a weekly web show for college admissions professionals. We're part of the Higher Ed Live network, which is all about professional development, brought to you for free on our Nido platform on the internet. We are really excited to tell you what we've been doing at NACAC headquarters in the past couple days, and I want to do that, but can't get this thing started without giving a shout out to the sponsors that make Admissions Live possible. All right, Admissions Live is sponsored by Scavenger, a Google-funded mobile game about going places, doing challenges, and earning points. Ever wonder how Scavenger U can be used for your school? Well, we just sent out a tweet for you to check out. They've got a demo of their app up and running, so you can see for yourself. Admissions Live is also sponsored by Welcome to College. Welcome to College, they believe it is all about your campus visit, and they've created web and mobile applications to help your institution measure and manage the most critical recruitment tool, the college visit. So head over to welcometocollege.com and learn more. You can also tweet at Welcome to College about setting up a demo with them. Admissions Live is sponsored by Zinch.com, the preferred destination by over 3 million students to research schools and scholarships and to showcase themselves as more than a test score. Over 1,000 colleges and universities around the world partner with Zinch to attract and enroll best fit students on the largest college search social network in the world. To learn more about Zinch, email outreach@zinch.com or tweet at socialadmission. And last this week, but certainly never least, Admissions Live is sponsored by Integral, your destination for social media research in higher education. Check out their research website and find out more about their latest white paper, a class of 2016 community analysis, to learn how creating communities for incoming students can improve admissions yield. All right, folks, we are live today, a special episode coming to you at a special time at NACAC headquarters in Arlington, Virginia. We've been here for the past 2 days, and I want to bring on Matt Drake, the Assistant Director of Education and Training at NACAC, to talk a little bit about what I and some of my colleagues have been up to. So we're going to scoot our camera so you can say hello.
Hello. Greetings from sunny and steamy Arlington, Virginia.
Definitely.
As many of our colleagues have found out here over the course of the last couple of days, it's been quite warm here. But just wanted to give you a brief update as to why we got into the Young Admission Professionals Convening and what really led to it. And what it was a NACAC research white paper that NACAC summoned to really try to determine what it is that young professionals are looking for, what are the career paths that go into the college admission profession. And what we found, among many other things in the white paper, was that the folks who are young professionals in college admission are really looking for more professional development and looking for ways in which they can really engage in the career ladder. So what we did was, Don Frazier, who's the Director of Ed and Training, and myself, we said, well, we could either try to guess as to what people want, we could look at research, which really isn't quite there, or we could call on some young professionals themselves to come here to NACAC headquarters to tell us exactly what they want. And that's essentially what we did here. And one thing I do want to emphasize is this is not really an exclusive group. These are 13 individuals that we tried to get who are emblematic of a much larger group, being the young admission professionals across the country and the world, who are going to be the future leaders in the profession. And I could go on and on about how great the convening was and everything that we really hit on, but what I wanted to do was I wanted to let the professionals themselves really talk about that. So just wanted to give you an overview there and thank Ashley and everyone else for attending.
Yeah, and thank you for having us. This has been really incredible, and like Matt said, part of why we wanted to broadcast live today was to engage you, our audience, in this conversation so that you can be a part of this too. It was pretty cool. We're going to tell you what we did. We're going to bring on some of the other folks that you may recognize if you've been following the show in the past, who were here with me, and we're going to kind of give you the inside scoop and hope that you're going to join us in what we hope to move forward from this convening today. So thank you, Matt.
Thank you.
It looks like we've got Chris Dorso in the house. Chris,
What's happening?
what's happening? Chris, we've done this before, but
I
not
know,
like
but not like this.
This
This is
different.
exciting.
Yeah, isn't it kind of awkward?
It's a little
like trying to
bizarre.
look- Okay, so
Actually exists in real life. I don't know if anybody out there in the webland realized that.
yeah.
She's not just a figment of the Twitters.
Yeah, I'm real. All right, so Chris, we it was funny because the night before we came down to NACAC headquarters, we got in Sunday night, and I was sitting around with a couple other colleagues, and I said, "Does anyone know what we're doing?" And they're like, "Well, we thought you know what we were doing here," but we didn't really have any idea what we had in store. We were asked to come down to Virginia, and what did we do?
Well, I think it's been. I think not knowing what we were doing was really what we were doing, and I think we're all we're insulated in our individual campuses and our individual environments and situations, and we don't always get the opportunity to really talk with other professionals who are doing the same things. And it's very easy to sort of get stuck in, doing the same college fairs and doing the same outreach and the same things that we always do. And this is really an opportunity for us to connect with other folks, other young folks, although this is the first time I've been considered young in some time, so it's kind of exciting. To really help propel the conversation in a way that makes sense to us, in a way that is on our level. One of the things about NACAC that surprised me coming here, I literally anticipated that this was one of these like gigantic complexes with hundreds of employees and a big parking lot and a security gate. It's not. It's a very personal place.
Yeah, and I thought it was like 4 people.
Talk about the difference.
So there's a big range of no expectation of why we were brought here or what to expect. So
no, but it's been really fantastic to kind of reach out, and I've had the ability, I've been tasked with, or chose to be tasked with, the opportunity to start with yourself and with some of the rest of you out there in admissions land, to sort of forward the conversation about technology and communication and social media, how that affects our world in admissions and in enrollment and on the ground, vertically, horizontally, all those kinds of things. And so hopefully you'll see some things coming out of this group, and we're going to reach out to all of you to help us further that conversation. It's not about us.
Yep.
Well, it is about us, but it's not about us.
It's about all of us.
Right, us, the collective us,
Yeah.
not just the 13 people in this room.
Awesome. Thanks.
Cool. Thank you, Ashley.
Yeah. One of the interesting things was we've had these roundtable discussions for the past 2 days, and these groups have formed to kind of move things forward. So Chris is part of a social media group that I'll also work on to kind of leverage technology to connect us as a community. I'm really, really excited about that, and we've got some other groups that are coming on. So I'm going to keep pulling people in, let them introduce themselves and talk about what kind of group action they might be involved in.
Yeah, so my name is Max Metz, and I'm the Associate Director of Admission at Northland College. We're in Ashland, Wisconsin, in the middle, not like everybody out here on the East Coast, unfortunately. But one of the groups that I'm part of is actually looking at how we can create kind of a mentorship within the admissions profession when folks are coming to the NACAC national fairs, other fairs, and different ACACs, how we can be ambassadors for NACAC to engage more people, to bring some kind of membership base, and not looking at money, but looking at how we can bring people together to make more good ideas, to look at the resources, because we've really talked a lot about these last 2 days, looking at how we can develop this new and incoming group, that the folks that don't know admissions is for them, and the folks that they know admissions is for them, but they don't know where to go from here. And so we're kind of bringing resources to them. And hopefully this ambassador program, as well as more of a career fair piece or a professional sharing place online or in a physical place. But we're not sure, and we'll be kind of delving into that here in the next few months. Yeah,
it's really kind of funny that we were brought here as young professionals, and we spent a lot of our time talking about even younger professionals. So, and how to reach out to people like us, like we were maybe 2 years ago, or maybe 5, 6, 10 years ago, coming into the profession and what kind of resources we might need. So, if you are a super young professional in the field and you're just getting started and you're connecting with things like Admissions Live because you want more education, like now you've got a task force at hand at your national organization that wants to help figure out how to help you. So that is really, really cool. And it's not just for the super young professionals. We're also looking at, that middle management. We're looking at, if you're moving on to a VP or director level, what does that mean? How does that work within our organization? So really cool conversations that are coming on, and they're going to continue after today. We're definitely going to continue these things. So,
and another way to have that input for whatever you're looking for, the hashtag YAPC12 is a way to follow what we're doing and to contribute to be part of what we're doing here.
Awesome. Yeah, great point. Yeah, so we're going to keep bringing people. Thanks, Max. Max is super cool. He came over the river and through the woods and down to Virginia, and it has been a really great time, like hearing his perspective too, from what's going on in the Midwest. So bring on another familiar face. Eric, want to do a little intro?
Yeah, how's it going? Eric Felix, University of San Diego admissions counselor there. Just super excited to be ending this YAPC12. Great colleagues, re-energized, and really excited about what's coming down the road for us. Particularly for the group that I'm working with, it's on professional competencies, but really what our new admissions professionals can do to stay in the field so we can retain, amazing talent, but also help them go into the next role, whether that's a middle manager, associate, assistant director, and just really progress in the field. We want to continue to cultivate talent, so we want to be able to identify what are the skills, the key knowledge areas, and the competencies that we should have. And instead of, say, 2 to 3 years later, you realize you should have learned something in your first couple months, with the help of NACAC, the national organization, we'll be able to provide education and training based on these core competencies.
Yeah, it's really exciting. And Eric, you brought a lot to the table this week with your experience in other professional organizations. Right. And, just your perception of NACAC before and after, I think it's kind of changed. One from, it's not something that I'm involved with to now, now leading a group to progress things forward. So
yeah, sometimes, I just thought, it's this big umbrella organization. It sets the guidelines for our admissions practices, and it has a national convention. Being here has really opened my eyes to the variety of functions, services, and programs that NACAC does. And, I'm more so going to be an advocate for what this organization does. And, I'm more likely to say what we do because I am part of NACAC. I have been a member for a few years, but now I really feel invested in the organization. Mm-hmm. So major props to the 2 coordinators that brought us here, Dawn and Matt. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thanks for coming on, Eric.
Thanks.
So we've got Nicole coming down. Come on down. Yeah, so Nicole, you were one of the folks that I was talking to Sunday night about not knowing what the heck we were getting ourselves into. Mm-hmm. And now that we've all kind of decided that we're going to continue to contribute and move this thing forward, what are your thoughts leaving here? And what are you kind of excited about?
Yeah, I'm excited about a lot. It was a really, really great day and a half, but I left here every time just with so much excitement about everything we talked about, and it was really exciting. I came in with the same, I wasn't sure what the heck is going on with NACAC mm-hmm. and what we really were being brought here for, but now I realize that NACAC really values us as young professionals, trying to shift. Mm-hmm. We're recognizing all of these big issues that are preventing us from doing our jobs to the best of our ability. And so I'm really excited about the conversations we've been having, the task forces we've been starting. Yep. I'm actually going to get to be a part of the social media group with Ashley and with Chris, which is something I'm really passionate about. And so mm-hmm. I think moving forward and seeing how we're using those ideas to actually really make a big impact and help young professionals is going to be huge.
Definitely. We're taking over. Right now, the people that put this group together are no longer in the building. Like, we have literally taken over NACAC headquarters, and we're going to keep moving things forward. And like I said, the reason why we wanted to bring this update to you live was that we want you to be a part of it too. Like, this is not an exclusive group of people. This is these task forces have been created by us for us. So I hope you can get excited too. And I think we got a couple other people that just want to share their perspectives before we go. Maybe just one. I don't know. But hopefully, if you're tuning in, you're gonna get involved and follow that hashtag YAPC12, or just stay in tune with us at Admissions Live if that is your style. So yeah, come on down.
Hi everyone. I'm Danny Irving from Pitzer College, all the way out in California. So I had to make the trek across the country to humid DC.
Yeah, it's been a little steamy here.
Just a
little steamy for sure. And did you have any expectations before coming? Did you have an idea of what we were going to be doing, or?
No, I was equally in the dark.
Cool.
I was really excited mostly for the conversations.
Right.
Just because any chance you have to get together with other members of the admission profession and really talk about critically what we're doing as a group, as an organization, as an industry, really is enlightening and what sort of keeps me motivated to keep doing this job.
So is there anything that came out of these past 2 days that you're taking away as like a little nugget of knowledge or excitement that you're ready to kind of go back to California and get the ball rolling on?
From my end, really, it's not to be too redundant, but technology, since I'm the Luddite of the social media group, since I don't use Twitter. So I'm really excited to learn about really how these tools are being used and how there is such this wealth of information that I might be missing, and help other people like me who might be missing it figure out where to find it. So.
Yeah, that's a great point. I mean, we discussed a lot of problems that need to kind of be tackled, or goals that we have that seem very daunting. And today, while we were kind of hashing them out once more of how we were going to move things forward, I think a lot of it came back to like, well, couldn't we do this easier if we just did it online? Or couldn't we, do we really need to have a whole conference involved to make this information known or get people together, or can we do it a little bit easier with technology? So that, as a tech nerd myself, made me really excited, and I think other people here were kind of buying into that too, which was very, very cool. Yeah. So any other kinds of thoughts about your impressions of NACAC as an organization? Like, that was, for me, something that I came in expecting to resolve myself, and I think I have.
I definitely agree. I was lucky enough to go to the national conference this year, and even after going to this huge event in New Orleans, I still didn't have a face for NACAC.
Sure.
And that was just really sort of confusing, even after going to the conference, going to the socials, hearing all the presentations, feeling like NACAC was still Big Brother. When in reality, it's just like all of our local ACACs, just doing work on a much bigger picture.
Very cool.
And that we should all get involved with it.
That's right. That's right. So get a few more minutes. I think we have a couple more people to sound off. Yes, good. More people are getting excited to come on the internets with me. Come on down and do a little intro.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hi everyone. I'm Sarah Whittemore. I'm an assistant director. Oh, scoot over more. I'm an assistant director of admission at DePaul University.
Yeah. So coming here, I think most of us, we've resolved that we had no idea what we were doing coming here. It sounded like a great opportunity, and we got buy-in from our institutions to kind of come down and chat with NACAC about whatever they wanted us to talk about. So what are the things that you found interesting or maybe didn't expect to talk about that we were able to talk about here?
I think we talked a lot about industry trends that I didn't think we get into as much. I thought the focus was going to be more on specifically NACAC and how we as young professionals can connect with the organization and kind of how they can bring us together. But we got into a lot of what we want to do long term as a group of people who are one day going to be in these roles and kind of the change agents in our industry. So that was kind of exciting to see what everyone was thinking they wanted to do with the profession and where it could go. And so thinking about, things that will change in the future and kind of empowering us to realize that we are going to be that change. So that was kind of something I didn't expect to come out of it.
Yeah, that was exciting for me too. Like even looking at the agenda that we had, it was kind of larger, broader scope of different kinds of topics that are going on in higher education, things that are affecting admissions, but maybe not just affecting admissions, affecting the whole industry. And we got to have really candid conversations. That was very cool. It wasn't a stuffy kind of, this isn't part of what NACAC wants to talk about today. It was, we could talk about whatever we wanted. So that was exciting for me.
It was a very open agenda. I think what was great is that the people who brought us here today weren't driving or manipulating that conversation. It was a very organic, open conversation. So I think a lot was able to get to be done because of that, because we kind of got to steer it in the direction that we felt it needed to go. So that was great.
Absolutely. So for anyone that wasn't here, how would, we're all kind of charged now with exciting the rest of our community and letting them know how open this organization is. Like, what do you think our next big step for letting people into this is going to be?
I think a big part of it will be the task forces that we've put together. I think getting the word out about the things that NACAC offers. I think when we think of NACAC, we always think of the national conference, and that's kind of sometimes all anybody thinks about, and we don't realize how many resources there are and how many, there's resources for people who counsel undocumented students, for people who are working with first-generation students, just looking at institutional data like across the U.S. So I think there's a lot of things that new counselors can use. So finding ways to kind of connect them to those resources and get them to those conferences and get them those memberships and kind of just get everybody more involved in the association and realizing kind of what it has to offer besides just the annual conference.
Absolutely. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming
Ashley.
on. Yeah, we've got one more bright and shining star in the admissions world coming down. So you're going to do it. Oh, so much love for Kelsey. Okay, do you want to do like a little intro?
Yeah, absolutely. Hi, everyone. My name is Kelsey Donahue, and I have the pleasure of interning at NACAC this summer, which has been absolutely incredible. But on the flip side, I am still a student. I am a senior at Marist College, which is located in Poughkeepsie, New York. So it's been very interesting interning here for the summer and kind of getting a behind-the-scenes look at admissions outside of being a student assistant, a tour guide, orientation leader, and all the like. So it's been a pleasure being here for the summer.
So now that we don't have your bosses in the room, and I'm sure they would not be watching this after in the archive. But I mean, coming in as an intern, coming in as someone who has an interest in the profession, which is pretty unique, and you know that. Most of us just kind of fell into it. What was your impression of the organization coming in, and what have you learned now, about it that, you have more of an inside look than we even have. We've been here for 2 days. You've been here for quite a while. So what can you share?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's definitely been interesting coming in on this side of it since I'm still on the student end of everything.
Right.
And, I'm fortunate enough to have an office which teaches me so much and has helped me through, and they were the ones pushing me to take this internship this summer.
Yeah.
And I've really learned that, especially Matt and Don, are taking the time to really see what professionals out there in the field are experiencing each day. And that was really the catalyst behind having something like the Young Admissions Professionals Convening. And this was something that they told me was happening when they interviewed me back in April. And it was something that I was really looking forward to for the summer. To see what things were affecting not only admissions professionals, but admissions professionals from all over the spectrum. Public, private, small, large, and it was very interesting being here for the past 2 days.
Definitely. So was there anything that we said around the table that was surprising to you?
I think my favorite part was your emphasis on helping the younger professionals. It made me realize that you do see that there are people out there that do have a love and a passion for this career, and you want to make sure that they don't fall into that sphere of going out after 2 years, getting frustrated, not being given that creativity, and leaving the field onto other things. And that this is a great profession, incredibly rewarding, and you want to keep the people who have passion for it within the field.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much.
No,
so if you're looking to hire a new person, She's going to be actually probably picked over by everyone that was here. So good luck. Thanks for coming on. Yeah. So I want to sign off by saying this was a really incredible experience, but it's not just an experience that we were able to have. It's an experience that you're going to be able to have too. So I'm going to put as many folks' contact information up as possible, definitely the ones that are going to be leading some of these task force, and we're going to need your help. So if you have any interest in the group that's going to be working on technology, communication, social media, that's one altogether. If you have interest, you can contact me about that. You can contact Chris Dorso, Nicole and Teeny. We've got other folks that are going to be working on those core competencies. So if you're a professional in our field with a bit of experience and you have an interest in kind of shaping a curriculum or getting involved in understanding what those core competencies are for our profession, we're going to be able to get you in touch with that task force. And then the last group is a really kind of exciting one that is more about the development of our profession, I think, and understanding that the way you can kind of rise and move around in our profession it's an okay thing to talk about. It's an okay thing to kind of implore of your colleagues. So that last one, I don't know how we would describe it. Did we have a description for
Ambassadors.
Oh yeah, ambassadors. Yeah. Okay. So I kind of just got one part of that group's mission so far, but they're actually looking to form an ambassador group that's going to go out and kind of corral everyone in. So we've got a few different names for that group, but we're going to call them ambassadors for now. And I hope you all will join us and get excited about what your national organization is ready and willing to do for you. So signing off from NACAC headquarters, of course, you can catch Admissions Live every Tuesday, usually at our normal time, which is 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Thanks for joining us today, and we will see